August is always a month of change in our household. Band camp starts up, which now takes both kids away for a good portion of the month and makes us not be able to play quite as much together. This doesn't change the list too much this month, since we were able to find time to play enough to get some of the summer regulars on the list. Then by the end of the month, school proper has started up once again, which cuts even more time out for playing together. However, while I have played less with my kids, I have managed to finish out some story games this month, which has shaken up my played list a little bit. So let's take a look at what I've played in August 2025. Since I had more time on my own this month, I was able to complete 2 story games this month. The first is Final Fantasy IX. I finally finished the story of Final Fantasy IX. Sadly, this is the first game in the series that I didn't platinum, but I may come back to it and try to later. Since one of the trophies requires a speedrun playthrough, I'm just sticking this on my completed list for now and moving on. I did really enjoy the game though. I released a review this month that goes more in depth about what I thought of the game, so give that a look if you're interested in knowing more of my thoughts. I'll leave a link in the video and the description. Second completed game is Awaria. This was a free-to-play title that I played and finished in August. It's a fairly short game that has you fixing machines in haunted maintenance tunnels. There isn't a lot to the story. You don't really know why you're fixing these machines or what they fully do. However, if you're successful, you get to try to smooch the ghost who has been trying to kill you, so win, I guess? Well, the story is a bit odd and lacking in some ways. The gameplay here is pretty fun. It's like a mix of overcooked order delivery and a bullet hell. Only instead of meals, you're delivering machine parts and trying not to become a ghost yourself. It can be a bit of a challenging game, but I had fun with it, at least on normal difficulty. I am planning on having a review out for this next month, so be on the lookout. I have 2 story games this month, but one will likely be hit or miss on the list moving forward, as it's a new co-op game that I just started with my kids. The first story game though is Yakuza 0. I have never played a Yakuza or Like a Dragon game, even though there are many out there. That changed this month as I started Yakuza 0. I'm not super far and not entirely sure what I think about the game so far. It's kind of a weird mix of serious and silly, but I kind of find that appealing. Seems like there is tons to do in this game, so I'm kind of looking forward to see what that all entails. I feel like this game will be a game though that takes me quite a little while to get through, but I'm hoping that it will be an enjoyable journey. So far it is, but I just hope it doesn't kind of drag with all the extra stuff that there is to do in the game. And the second story game is Diablo 2 Resurrected. I started playing the remaster of Diablo 2 together with my kids near the end of August. I've always enjoyed the Diablo series, but haven't really played co-op very much over the years. So it was kind of fun to get to play it with my kids and revisit a game that I played quite a bit in the past once again. We made it a good way through the first chapter in August. I'm hoping that we can play it every once in a while and keep making some progress through the game in a semi-consistent manner. Moving on from story games, I'll be focusing on games that I call endless games. These are games that don't have clear-cut endings. They can be online PvP, arcade, sandbox, creative, simulation, or party games. There are games here that are monthly regulars and also games that will hop off and on the list depending on the month. August endless games are pretty close to July's list. Basically, one game from July didn't make the list and a new one was added to the list. This makes for a pretty stable list of games and shows that I've been enjoying the games of this category quite a bit at the moment. The first endless game is Fortnite. As usual, Fortnite is one of the staple games that I play with my family. The big news here was the start of a new bug-themed season, as well as new OG and LEGO passes. Not that I really play those modes. Overall, I've enjoyed the season. I've liked that they carried the rank system over from last season, but I have mixed feelings about the drop pod rewards. They give decent stuff, but can sometimes drop in weird ways, and can be hard to keep track of if they drop in the midst of a battle. The medallions have also been a bit of a weird point this season too. All combined, they made for a super annoying mobility monster that could decimate people by the end of the game, but Epic's decision to just nuke medallions altogether seems like an even worse option. I'm not super invested in the medallions, but it just feels a little weird how they've been handled. Feels like making a solution that you can only hold one medallion at a time or something like that would have been a little bit of a better solution, but maybe that was just not so easy to do that quickly. Granted, medallions have been around for a while, so it's probably something that they could have worked on if they thought medallions were this big issue that needed to be just erased from the game. The change that I have disliked though this month was that Epic took away the auto-claim option for the various passes. It's so annoying to have to go into all the passes to claim your stuff. Like, it's not horrible. I know that it's just, a few extra seconds here and there to have to do this, but the other way was so easy and convenient. It also felt really nice to come back to lobby and have a bunch of unlocks waiting for you right there. Also, at the end of August, we did see a new festival pass featuring the gorillas. I haven't really had the chance to do much with that, but I'm sure that it's just more festival as it doesn't really change much from season to season. Second endless game is NGU Idle. I continue to work through the final difficulty of NGU Idle, and it's really hard to say how much progress I've made. Changing difficulties really slows things down for a while, but I do feel like I've made decent progress in the month. I just don't know if that feeling is accurate or not. I have earned a new set of equipment from the next adventure world, and have upgraded a number of perks and quirks. I'm just not entirely sure how much progress that actually is, but I guess I'll see as I continue on. The third endless game is Marvel Rivals. The second half of Season 3 has been the focus of August. Blade entered the battle, and while I haven't played him much, he seems to be doing fairly well in the game. They also added a new map partway through the month, which introduced a new game mode to Marvel Rivals. I'm not a huge fan of the mode, but it's okay. Rivals has really been all in on the mini passes the last couple of months. We've had 3 of them recently. I'm not entirely sure what I think about these. On the one hand, they're a great deal compared to buying skins separately, but on the other hand, it feels like they're maybe overdoing it a bit. We'll see if this pace keeps up, because if it does, I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that. It does seem like they're trying to have these replace the kind of season quests that would come at the beginning and middle of each season, but I kind of like those and wouldn't want that just to be replaced with kind of a soulless feeling battle pass every part of a month or so. Fourth endless game is Stardew Valley. I didn't play a lot of my own modded farm in August. I did play once, but didn't really make a lot of progress. I was mostly working on expanding production on my farm and trying to find golden walnuts on Ginger Island, and that's really the majority of what I was working on. We did play a bit more on our co-op farm though this month. We have just made it to summer of year 2, and I think we're getting into a pretty good rhythm. We are upgrading our coop to the max level and have upgraded our barn once too. We have also been able to complete some more bundles in the community center. The biggest milestone there is unlocking the greenhouse. Overall though, our co-op farm is coming together and we're making solid progress. Fifth endless game is Warframe. August saw a bit less playtime for Warframe than July. While I was able to play it a little bit with the kids, I felt that I played it more on my own last month. I was able to get a couple new Warframes, Goss Prime and Harrow during the month. I also played Dog Days to get some of the summer stuff that is on offer from that. But I'm kind of lacking in a lot of things to level up other than those new Warframes. I don't have a lot of new weapons that I haven't leveled to get some more mastery, and it's given me a chance to focus on tackling other parts of the game like getting top standing with Ostron and doing random Nightwave stuff. The sixth endless game is Super Auto Pets. I continued to play Super Auto Pets last month and have still enjoyed my time with the game. I've mainly been working on trying to get the achievements for every pet. This means that you have a pet fully leveled and win 10 times in a run. I have all the rank 1 and 2 pets done and most of rank 3, but after that it gets kind of hard to level your pets up to maximum and then still win the run, especially since the game hates you sometimes and never gives you the pets you actually have. So it's pretty common to either win with pets that just aren't fully leveled, or to get somebody up to a full level but then not have a great team composition that leads you to victory. It can be a little frustrating at times, but I do still overall enjoy Super Auto Pets. The seventh endless game is Civilization 6. I played a little Civilization 6 to continue my Aztec run that I started in July. I'm not feeling too confident about the playthrough though, since I'm kinda stuck. I'm not really able to expand more and only have like 6 cities, one of which I had to take over when it rebelled against its original civilization. I do want to try to play it through and see how it goes, but I'm not feeling too confident that I'll earn a victory. Maybe I need to just start going military and take over some places, but I always feel a little weird doing that, especially whenever combat has been made so difficult in these more recent civilizations, and there's so many diplomatic aspects that also influence things that I'm just never sure about really starting conflict just to take over more countries. The eighth endless game is 20 Minutes Till Dawn. This was a new game that I added in August. Despite my love of Vampire Survivors, I haven't really tried any other games in that vein. Last month that changed with this game. I did enjoy the game quite a bit, but must say that it had quite a different vibe than Vampire Survivors. This is both in the tone of the game and also in how the game is set up in general. The feel is more dark and somber with a muted color palette that only uses red as any other color beyond the kind of black and white aesthetic that it has. The upgrades in the game are more general for all characters instead of being focused on collecting different weapons as you go through the game. While I have enjoyed it, I don't really see it staying on the list for a long time. It's quite possible that I might 100% the achievements in the game by the end of September, and there isn't nearly the replay value that Vampire Survivors has to keep playing it after that fact. There is the rumor of an update coming at some point, but it's unclear if that will actually happen since it's nearing a year from when that was first announced, and it seems like the developer has kind of gone silent recently, so so it's hard to say if this is actually going to happen or whether this game has just kind of been abandoned and isn't going to really get any more updates. I guess I'll see. If it does get more updates, I will be happy to revisit it, but I'll probably put it on a completed list after I get all my achievements done and maybe come back to it if that would happen. I was able to get back to some dedicated trophy hunting in August, but only just. I didn't quite play as much as I expected to in this category, but it still did happen. And the game that I focused in on was Ys Origin. I came back to working on my Nightmare playthrough with Unica, but ran into some issues in the process. It appears that with Unica's EX version, her electric attack also does burning, and it is able to light the torches that you would normally need the fire ability for. I had lit the torches this way and progressed the wrong direction for a while, which made me later run into a progression error and get stuck in the makeshift base at the bottom of the tower. I had to reload a cloud save and work through things a second time. This time though, I was able to make the progress and actually keep it, but it definitely slowed down the progress that I was kind of hoping to make this month in the game. And since I didn't play it nearly as much, it really made me not get very far at all. And that's what I played in August. I was able to complete 2 games, start a couple new ones, and play a number of games that I really enjoy. I'm pretty happy with how August turned out overall, even if it meant I didn't get to play with my kids quite as much. What have you been playing in August? Let me know in the comments, as it's always fun to see what others are playing and if you would recommend those games. Hope everyone had a great month and that you've been playing games that you enjoy. That's all for now, so I'll see you in the next video.